Hello, my fellow sailors. I hope everyone is having a good day today. Welcome back to Dredge. We're gonna start where we left off, where it looks like we've just spotted a note in a bottle. So we're gonna go grab that and see what it says. There we go, we've grabbed that. And if you look at the clock on the top, it looks like it's getting towards sundown. So we'll head back in and read the note in harbor, lest we get stuck out here and we'll start to panic. If you see now that it's starting to get dark, you can sort of see the pulsing red glow just in the clock, under the clock at the top. And now we've got the eyeball. I believe this is sort of indicating the amount of panic we have. And oh, look, we just finished our book as well. How useful. And we're back at dock. So have a look at this note. So sustainable fishing gives us a 10% chance not to reduce fish stock and catching fish with a rod. That's very useful. And here we go, 20th of August 1927. Morning of the second day of the honeymoon, and our first day proper. Today we're sailing around the island and inlets at the back of Greater Marrow. I love the rocks here, the layers are so striking. Furthermore, the fishing is relatively poor in these shallows, so I know he will keep his hands on the wheel instead of the rods. He renamed the boat last night, Julie. He did a fancy renaming ceremony and everything. I think he took them more seriously than the wedding. Supposedly it's very important to form it correctly, lest you want ill fortune to follow the vessel. He wanted to throw away everything with the old name on it, but I kept the keychain. Ocean's Riches was a good name. I think he was prepared a surprise picnic lunch. I can see the basket half hidden, stuffed under a blanket at the front cabin. I love it when he tries to be romantic. Oh, that's kind of sweet. And actually, the note is right. At least where I'm from, renaming your boat does bring bad luck. So you always have to keep like the original name of the boat. So basically, every boat my family's ever owned, we kept the original names. I've never heard of a renaming ceremony, but it definitely could be a thing. And while we're in here, we'll check our pursuits. We've got the 2 squid and 1 black grouper to deliver to the fishmonger. And here we can see the encyclopedia again with all the different types of fish we've caught. And we'll go see the fishmonger to sell our catch. Oh, I found this book out back. Could it be useful for you? This fishmonger reaches under the counter and hands you a damp, battered book. A few shimmering fish scales are stuck to the cover. And then we'll remember we didn't actually catch anything, so we'll head out of there. Then we'll take a look at our new book, Rods, Reels, and Rigged, and make sure it's selected so that we can read it in our downtime. And we're gonna head to this shipwright to see if we can finally afford that engine, and yes we can, and she's going to install it for us. And we're gonna skip to the morning and we're gonna head out and do some fishing and see what we can find. So we've caught an interesting fish, a barbed eel. This is sort of where the kind of eldritchy horror part of the game comes in. A spine broken with sharp angles and crooked curves, a row of teeth bent on revenge. That's quite a description. Yeah. So we'll probably fill our hold up and then take these back to the fishmonger and see what he has to say about them. Right, hold full, let's head off to the fishmonger. What is it today? You hand the grotesque fish to the fishmonger. He begins raising the fish up to his face before inhaling deep, stuttering breaths. Ah, now this is a sort of specimen to liven up my day. I wonder. He runs his fingers firmly along the length of the fish, as though feeling for something. He pushes from one side of its stomach, and a small shape can be seen against the burgeoning scales. He slices the fish open from its stomach and pulls a small piece of fabric and spreads it on the counter. It's a delicately patterned handkerchief. Well, I've never seen that before in all my days. I'll give you this thing, and I'll pay you for the fish too, of course. It's not the first corrupt fish I've seen in these parts, so I'm sure you'll find more before too long. I'll pay you well if you find any more. I wonder why he wants corrupt fish. I mean, they were kind of weird and creepy. Do people really want to eat them? It's a bit weird. But if he's going to pay us for them, I guess that's what he wants. And we'll take a look at this handkerchief. A once beautiful handkerchief drawn from the inside of a grotesque fish, patterned with delicate crimson thread. Huh, I wonder where the fish got it from. It must have eaten it. Oh, a man is looking at you through your cabin window, his face mostly in shadow. I know what you took to the fishmonger, and I'll be clear, I know he extracted an artifact from it. I need to inspect it, but not here. Meet me on Blackstone Isle, head out of this bay and cut south. I have business proposition that you'll want to hear. I'll be waiting. Well, that was a bit creepy. And I guess Blackstone Isle is that X on the map there. So I guess we may as well head along and have a chat to him, see what he wants. I mean, it's a bit mysterious and creepy, but hey ho. Maybe it could be something interesting or exciting. So it looks like Blackstone Isle has a ruined mansion and a workshop. I guess it's the ruined mansion we need to head to first. The man standing in the doorway watching you approach. He's holding an old book in one hand. It's bound in crimson with silver ribbons. You came, good. Allow me to introduce myself. I am a collector of many things, art and artifacts, treasures and truth, and curios that occupy the periphery of desire. And you have something for me. You give the handkerchief to the collector. He holds it up to the flickering light and studies it. These patterns are unmistakable, even after all this time. The handkerchief comes from an old ship I've been searching for. It sank many years ago. It carried items of great importance. As you can imagine, retrieving them is proving to be challenging. That is where you come in. My proposition is this. I will outfit your vessel with equipment and that will let you dredge the wrecks and the dark depths. Find me these lost relics, and I will reward you in ways beyond all imagining. You need not give up your fishing career. I'll merely need a few hours with your vessel to make the necessary alterations. What do you say? I guess? An excellent decision. I'll prepare the equipment immediately. The relics we are looking for are a ring, a necklace, and a watch, and a music box and a key. I would encourage you to ask around the towns about shipwrecks or other strange occurrences, anything that might be worth investigating. Return when you have something. Okay, I mean, that's kind of interesting. I guess we can look for these things for him. He's giving me kind of creepy vibes. And like, how did he know that we were gonna, like, we got the fish and we got the thing from the fishmonger? Was he watching us? I don't know. But I guess we'll have a look inside this workshop. You enter, take a moment to let your eyes adjust to the dim light. You find something horrifying creation among the detritus. I guess we may as well work out what these are. Sign of ruin. A symbol of the deep is carved into the small talisman. It's sure to draw the attention of those who attune to it. So it looks like it gives us a 5% aberration bonus. So I presume if we install it in our boat, it gives us a slightly greater chance of catching aberrational fish, which is kind of weird, but could definitely be very useful. We'll take a look at the other artifact. It's an arterial engine. The bony blades of this grotesque engine are driven by a pulsing heart. It beats in time with your own. It looks like it gives us a 7-knot boost to our speed, which again could be useful, but we don't currently have any sort of engine slots available, so we'll leave it where it is and we'll come back for it if we have space again at some point. And we'll take a nap. And now that it's morning, we're going to head out and test out our new dredge. Why don't we see if we can find something to use it on. And here we go. It looks like we found an area with a dredge symbol on it. And it looks like to get it up, we have to move the little arrow back and forth on the tracks, avoiding the gaps. And there we go. We got a bolt of cloth. A decent length of cloth. It's damp but hasn't started to deteriorate yet. Could be used for vessel renovations. I believe we can use these in the dry dock to improve our vessel. So we'll have to collect up lots of these materials. And it looks like we've depleted this dredging site, so we'll go see if we can find some more. So we'll go take a little look around and see what we can find. And it looks like on our exploration we found an area of sparkly rocks, a pile of loose debris. Clearing this would take some strong explosives. So it looks like we probably can't do that right now, but I guess if we find explosives later on we can come back and attempt to clear that. And we'll continue on with our exploration. It looks like we found an area of disturbed water, so some pinkish stuff coming out of it, so we'll go check out what that is. So again, it's a dredge site, and it looks like it's a key we're looking for. I do believe the guy from Blackstone Isle did want a key. Okay, we've picked up an ornate key, an abnormally large and heavy key cast from an unfamiliar metal. The teeth of the key are curved and sway before your eyes like tendrils. Okay, this is possibly what the man from Blackstone Isle wanted, so maybe we'll head back there and see if I'm right. You enter the collector's house. He's standing at the back of the room, still holding the silver and crimson book. He seems impatient. Well, you have something, don't you? Show me. You hand him the key. The cold metal glimmers, a strange shine as he holds it. The shape of the key, the teeth, the head, now somehow seems changed, smaller. Has it always been this way? Is it all? Where is the lock? The collector grows agitated. It seems the pieces we're looking for have traveled further than I anticipated. Much further, I suspect. In that case, allow me to aid your travels. He turns a few pages in his book and mutters something low under his breath. A burst of light fills your vision and you stagger back briefly. Now go, we have more relics to uncover. My intuition tells me that the currents may have carried some debris to the southeast towards Gale Cliffs. Make that your priority. I'll mark a location on your map where you can begin your search. Anything else? Nothing, I'll be going. So there, if we take a look at our map, it seems Gale Cliffs is down there, and he's marked an X where he thinks we should search. The next morning, we're going to take a look at the new ability we got. So haste adds speeds to your engine, but increases panic and engine heat. So we can go to the flywheel and move down and select the haste. And then if we right click to use it, it does seem it gives us quite a boost, but you can sort of see the screen goes pink and kind of like the pinky sort of orangey smoke coming out of our smokestack, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's the kind of panic effect taking hold. And you can see the little bar in the left-hand corner there is increasing. It must be the heat. I presume if we get too hot, we maybe damage our engines or something like that. This could definitely be very useful, but I will have to keep an eye on it and make sure that I don't, well, overheat or do myself damage or make myself panic too much. So it does have an upside and a downside, like the Blackstone Isle guy said. I think for now I might grab some more dredging things and also some more fish, and then we'll head back to Greater Marrow and see what's happening there. The lighthouse keeper emerges from the dark forest that flanks the town. She walks towards the dock with a confused look on her face. Oh, it's you. Your engine, it sounds like... I'm sorry, I mistook the vessel of an old friend. Dejected, she turns and walks back towards the lighthouse. Huh, I wonder if the Blackstone Isle men made the same deal with the last fisherman. Maybe that's why our engines sound the same? And she mistook them for me? Fisherman, have you run into a photographer on your travels? She docked here a few days ago for supplies. I suggested that she take some pictures of the town for promotional purposes, but she didn't seem too interested. She mentioned she was heading south. Perhaps you should introduce yourself. Okay, I mean, she wasn't interested, she wasn't interested. Leave her alone, dude. You approach a woman sitting on the dockside, staring out to sea. She turns to you. What's it like out there? It's peaceful. It's got to be a damn sight better than this bloody town. I think I just need to get away for a while. Maybe not coming back. Going backwards is a mistake, don't you think? You should always keep moving forward, moving along. It's not... I can't go back. She's gazing out to sea again, lost in thought. Say, if you find me some materials, maybe you can help me move. I mean really move. There's an island I've heard about, Steel Point, just to the north. 2 units of lumber and 2 units of scrap is all I need. I can make a new place for myself out there. You'd be welcome to visit too. Just stack it up at Steel Point when you have anything. I'll pay you when the job's done. Yeah, I mean, we could definitely do that for her. Looks like we've got a few metal scraps and some lumber. Bolts of cloth. Why don't we put the bolts of cloth in storage for now, and we'll keep the scrap and lumber. Hopefully we can find another piece of lumber and we'll drop that off at Steel Point for her. If we take a look in our map, we can see where Steel Point is there. It's just up there on that kind of big island with the red X on it. So it's not too far, so easy enough to head over there and drop off the materials. We don't have time to get there before dark, so we'll sleep the night and the next morning we'll make our way over to Steel Point. So we made it to Steel Point, and it looks like there's a material pile there for us to drop our stuff off. So we'll drop the 2 scrap and lumber off, and then we might take a little look around the island and see if we cannot find some more lumber. And there we go. We found some very conveniently placed lumber, which we'll pick up. And we'll probably grab the other bits and pieces we can see around here before heading back to Steel Point. It looks like we've flown a little bit too close to the sun here, or actually flown a little bit too far away from the sun, if the idiom goes, since it's now nighttime and dark, and we're kind of starting to panic. So hopefully we can make it back to Steel Point safely. Yep, there we go. That was a little bit scary, but we can go to the material pile and drop up the last little bit of lumber. And then in the morning, we'll head back and let the builder know. And we made it back to Little Marrow. Let's go chat to the builder. You've done it. Well, no sense in wasting time. Let's get moving. Oh, it looks like she wants me to put her on the boat, but I'm all full up, so we'll have to come back once we've emptied our stuff into our storage. So we'll just move all of this to storage and then go pick up our builder. Feels a little bit weird putting a human being like in the cargo hold. Like normally they'd be in the cabin with you. You wouldn't put them down there with like your fishing equipment and your fish. I mean, it wouldn't smell very nice. It wouldn't be very nice, but you know, if that's the game how it wants me to do it, I guess that's how I'm going to do it. But we'll head back to Steel Point and hopefully drop the builder off safely. It is kind of getting towards midday, but we should have plenty of time to make it there before night. Yes, this'll do. Thank you, fella. Give me a short while to get things built here. You're welcome back anytime. She reaches into her toolbox and pulls out a handful of components. Take these, always good to have on hand. Ooh, some more research. We'll definitely have to research something good with those. Thank you very much, builder. And well, we still have a little bit of daylight left, so we might go for a little explore around this island before it gets too dark. See what we can find. Okay, it looks like we found a little shack and an SOS sign, so we'll go check that out. I'm saved! Oh my, you are a sight for sore eyes. What happened? I washed up here. Oh, it must have been some 2 weeks ago now. There were rough seas and the wave hit us broadside. I was jostled overboard and swept away. I thought my crew would have come to find me by now, but yours is the first ship I've seen pass by here. Did the boys send you to look for me? No. Oh well, I'm sure they're out there looking anyways. Can you get me to Little Marrow, stranger? I should be able to catch them there when they next stop by. Yeah, of course, and I actually have space in my hull to fit him, which is perfect. Definitely starting to get back, so we'll head back towards Little Marrow. And the fog is definitely rolling in, and I'm starting to panic, but luckily the lighthouse is there to guide my way. So we'll do our best to make it back safely. That was a little close and a little scary at points, but we did manage to make it back safely, thank goodness. The sweet, rank smell of civilization. I thought I could never miss it. He turns to you. For someone who's just been saved, he seems gloomy. I've not got much on me, as you can imagine, and I've had a feeling this isn't worth much anymore, for me, at least, but perhaps it's worth something for you. He removes a signet ring from his left hand and presses it into yours. It's emblazoned with the symbol of a captain's wheel. Oh, that's quite pretty, thank you very much. On to better horizons, friend. Farewell. Well, I hope good things for him. I really do. I think we're going to check out what the trader does. You enter a brightly lit shop. It's packed with antiques and the shelves are full of jewelry and other baubles. An old man peers you over his silver spectacles. Hello? Is that? No. Ah. I don't believe we've met. Forgive me, my eyes aren't what they used to be. I specialize in antiques and jewelry. I'll purchase any special trinkets you happen to have. Have you got anything nice with you today, perhaps? Okay, so it sounds a bit rude, but we're going to sell that signet ring. There's not really a lot I can do with it, and 90 pounds is a lot of money to buy some good things. We'll also spell that goblet we got earlier from dredging. Thank you very much. It looks like there's a grieving father we can talk to. Hello, is everything okay? Do you know of any shipwrecks around here? Well, yes. You see, my only son was lost at sea some years ago. He's still out there somewhere, in one of those wrecks, all alone in the cold, dark water. The man is clearly trying his hardest to remain composed, but tremors of grief rack his body. I was wondering, I noticed you have some dredging equipment installed on your vessel. If you're able to retrieve any of his belongings from the wreck, I think I'd feel more at peace if his mementos were with me. He wore a bronze belt buckle, specially engraved. I'd recognize it anywhere. If there's any chance you could find it, I'd be in your debt. You'll ask him if he knows about any other strange occurrences. I don't get out a lot anymore, so I don't see much of what goes on. But I do remember the old mayor in his final days. What an awful sight it was. Screaming and throwing things into the sea. Throw it back, he would cry over and over, begging anyone who would listen, howling it to the wind. These days I almost feel like I understand. Well, that was really sad. I mean, we'll definitely try and get that belt buckle back to the grieving father. I mean, it must be awful to lose a child. Yeah, the mayor story was interesting. I'm not entirely sure what that means, like throw it back. But I have a funny feeling we'll find out. And now that we have some more search points to use, we'll go ahead and put them in the flexible fishing pole so we can shape our two kind of fishing poles into one to give us a little bit more hull space, which will be quite nice. The next morning, we're gonna head out and catch some more fish on our way back to Little Marrow, where we're probably going to have a look at doing some upgrades and working out what our next plan should be. On the way back in, we found another aberrant fish, a grotesque mackerel, corrupted scaled and bulbous eyes like nothing you've ever seen before. So yeah, that's a bit concerning, but well, I guess we'll go talk to the fishmonger, see if he wants it. He was saying he did want aberrant fish. Maybe he'll give us a nice price for it. Keep an eye out for larger fish. They'll feed more mouths and pay you for more of them. So the grey-test mackerel is worth £29.25. That's quite a lot of money. So we'll put the things we've dredged into storage. And then I think we're going to go talk to the shipwright. See if we can buy this fishing pole, and we do have enough money for it. But we should sell our old poles first. And it looks like the new pole will only fit on the right hand side of my boat there, so we'll have to move the sign of ruin over as well. But we can get it all installed, and now we have a little bit more hull space, which is always very useful. And now we're going to go take a little look at our dry dock. Remember, you don't have to have all the materials at once. You can store whatever you have right here at the dry dock. That's good to know. And I think so we've got rod space, net space, engine spaces, and also light space. And I think we're going to have a look at the light space because we'd like some lights. But it looks like we have enough scrap, and we have one of the lumber, but we're still missing a piece of lumber. So we'll have to go out and try and find that in order to upgrade our lights so we can maybe see a little better at night and less panic inducing. It looks like on our travels we found another point of interest. This looks to be all that's left of this boat is an old husk. You pull a little closer. So we've got two pieces of lumber in it, which is exactly what we wanted. You also have an old iron chain linked to the untrained eye, but there's good metal here. Someone might pay for this. Ooh, maybe we can take that to the trader. There's also a research part, which is always useful, and a citrine ring, which I'm sure we can take to the trader as well. It is starting to head towards nighttime, so we might do a little bit fishing on our way back to safety of port. And it looks like we found another aberrant fish, a lumpy mackerel, a writhing mass of lumps twisted and pulling their way under the scales of the vessel. How long can it have lived like this? That is a very gross description. Yup. Do not enjoy this, and it looks like we're starting to get a little bit panicked, so I think we're gonna head off home. But of course we can't resist doing a little bit more fishing, and we do find a black grouper, which I believe was one of the fish we needed for the order from the fishmonger, so that is definitely very useful. But now we definitely have to head in because it is getting very dark. Oh, our light just flickered, and we're starting to panic a little bit, which is, yep, not so much fun, so straight back to town for us. And we'll give the fishmonger the black grouper for his order and go ahead and sell the rest of our fish. And we should also note that the lumpy mackerel sold for about £34, while the regular ones sell for about 10. We'll then put all the things we dredged into storage and check out with the shipwright in the dry dock. And conveniently we found our piece of lumber, so we're able to purchase the extra light space. And we can also look at the extra engine space because that'd be useful. I like speed, definitely want to go faster, and we do have enough. So 2 scrap metal and 1 lumber for that, so we can purchase that. Maybe we'll go have a look at some lights and some engines from the shipwright. If you're wanting to get a bit more out of your engine, take a look at this book on the house. Ooh, another book. Perfect. Okay, let's take a look at some lights. Halogen spotlight. So it's plus 18,000 lumen and a range of 25 meters. So that sounds good. And that takes up 2 spots, so we can put it up there at the top of our new light spots. But it does look like we don't quite have enough money for them, so we might have to go sell some things and catch some more fish in order to afford those later on. Now that it's morning, we'll probably go out and try and catch some more fish to get some more money for our lights. And now thinking that we have an extra engine spot, we now have space for the one we found on Blackstone Isle. So we'll probably go and grab that as well. And if we brave the shed again, we can go ahead and install that in one of our engine spots. So that gives us a little bit more speed, which is always useful. And now that's done, we can go back to filling our hold with fish. On the pursuit of upgrades, you always want upgrades. All-consuming need to be faster, stronger, better. Upgrades! And of course, on our pursuit of upgrades, we found another aberrant fish. Gill plates dotted with eyeballs, superfluous, but scanning frantically, all eyes see right through you. The many-eyed mackerel. Yup, that is creepy. I really do not like things looking at me. Like, have you ever had those like fish, like trying to feed you fish and they still have the eyeballs in them? I just can't. I can't eat it. I know, like, logically that's where my food comes from, and things, but I cannot do it. And like, I don't even like fish anyway. I cannot eat fish that's looking at me. Nope. But at the very least, it should hopefully be worth some money and we can afford our upgrades. Let's see, so normal mackerel's about £10 again, and the many-eyed mackerel sold for £34 and 22 pence, which at least if it's gonna freak me out mildly by having many eyeballs, it's worth a lot of money. Yeah, trade-offs, trade-offs. But at least at this point, we can afford our new lights, so this should help us at night and help reduce the amount of panic. So we did get our upgrades. Well, this feels like a good point to go ahead and end the video. We did get our upgrades, we accomplished what we wanted to do. And I'd just like to thank everyone who made it to the end of the video here with me. I had a lot of fun playing this, and there'll definitely be some more Dredge in the future. I hope to see you in my next video, and I hope you all have a great few days. Bye!